Football bloody hell. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1, 3 points for Manchester United. What a win, what a comeback. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing some footage from the game, and I have also something really important to tell you towards the end of the video, so please make sure to stick around until the end. Now, before we get on and analyze footage from the game, let's talk about Brentford for a minute. We all know what Brentford are all about, 5-3-2. They play compact, narrow, deep, all you want, really effective in set pieces. They are really a frustrating team, the perfect smash and grab team. Not only did they beat us last season, but they beat Manchester City home and away. So there are definitely no pushovers. However, prior to this game, I thought that we could actually beat them quite easily, to be fair, because of two main reasons. The first thing is that they are a completely different animal to the Brentford that we saw in the Premier League last season, mainly because they are losing, they're without Ivan Toney, who is of course banned/suspended. They lost Raya to Arsenal. Raya was effectively their deep lying playmaker, great ball playing defender. And of course, Rico Henry, their left back, who is excellent, who is of course out due to a long-term injury. So of course, they are not the same outfit as the Brentford that we've seen last season. But also the main reason why I was optimistic is mainly because they haven't been doing well this season and they need a result. They need a result. They haven't had a positive result in 5 games. And also they have dropped crucial points against teams like Bournemouth and Everton. And that's what we call relegation 6-pointers. Those are games that you need to win if you are a team like Brentford, because if they end up finding themselves in a relegation battle, which is highly likely, then you actually want to have as many points from those teams that are going to be in and around you, fighting for survival as possible. Otherwise, you'll have to beat the big boys in order to guarantee your survival, which of course is not easy to do. Now, that's in theory, but of course, as we're going to see later, things didn't pan out as expected. Let's analyze. All right, so let's analyze footage from the game. Now, the reason why the scenario that I had in mind did not actually play out as I expected against Brentford is because, again, we ended up gifting them a goal. And actually, we ended up gifting them a goal again in the same time frame as in the other games, between the 18th and the 26th minute. Every game, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Brighton, Bayern Munich, during all of those games, we ended up conceding around the 20th minute mark. And that's actually ominous. It's really strange, okay? And so we did the same thing against Brentford. Now, a lot of people are, of course, focusing on Onana. I'm going to talk a lot about Onana in this video, but I'm not one of those people. Because to me, before Onana had to make the save, there were so many mistakes that were committed, and that's just unacceptable. Let's look at this. So we had a free kick. Actually, Amrabat took the ball out and then he drew a foul onto himself. Great tactical play. It allows us to have a breather. Why would you play the ball so fast like this? Why? What's with the urgency in this situation? Take your time. It's fine. 0-0 at the, I think it was 25th minute. There is no rush. The ball comes to Casemiro, and then what he does is he turns around immediately and then tries to play fast ball towards Amrabat. Now, here's the thing. Casemiro here, he has options. He can play it back to Maguire, play it to Johnny Evans, play it to Lindelof, or play it to Amrabat. He has to assess the risk. And here he failed in basic risk assessment. If you're gonna give it to Amrabat, then you better then make well sure that you are definitely gonna succeed with that pass. He didn't. We end up losing the ball. He fails with his tackle. Brentford have the initiative. Now here, there's gonna be another series of mistakes. Not really mistakes, but tiny failures from our defenders. And the reason why I don't want to call them mistakes is because I don't want to draw negativity into the players, but especially because Lindelof, Johnny Evans, and Maguire, who are all involved in this goal, actually played very well. All of them, they were really good this game. Maguire, amazing. This game, he was great. Lindelof, he nearly broke his back. That's how committed he was in this game. And Johnny Evans, he just oozes class. His ball playing ability, his reading, ability to read the game, his leadership, his communication, great. All 3 of them were great. But in this particular sequence, they have let Onana down. Let's see what happened. Okay, so the ball comes in towards our box. Now look, first of all is Harry Maguire. So Diogo Dalot is going with Hickey over there. Harry Maguire needs to block this passing lane. He doesn't. The ball goes past him quite easily. Comes towards Lindelof. That's a poor clearance right there. Rebounds. Here again, Casemiro could have done something about it. He didn't. Now the ball comes towards Janssen. Now, here's what you have to remember. This position where Janssen is at, this is a position where the attacker is at an advantage over the goalkeeper. This is close to the penalty spot. From my Brighton video, which got deleted by YouTube, that was a great video, highly insightful. I showed how all three of Brighton's goals came from cutbacks into players who were in and around the penalty spot. Guys, when a player is around the penalty spot, shooting at a goalkeeper, who has the advantage is of course the striker. That's why when we have a penalty, nobody expects a goalkeeper to save it. Everyone expects the penalty taker to score it. And if the goalkeeper saves it, then it's a miracle. Then people celebrate as if they scored the goal, because nobody expects the goalkeeper to really save it from this distance right here. Jensen is around the same area right here. So here we have two center backs, Lindelof and Johnny Evans. Both of them have to stop it. None of them comes in. I mean, Lindelof here, he should have blocked it right there. Evans in second level, and then Onana comes in. Now, my evaluation of the Onana save here is that, yes, he could have done better. Yes, but to me, he could have done better, just like Lindelof could have done better, just like Evans could have done better, just like Maguire could have done better, and just like Casemiro could have done better. Do you understand? Do you understand the nuance with this? And so we should not really just look at Onana and, oh, he could not save it, but rather look at how did we allow Jensen to be in this situation and to shoot from this distance over here. And Onana is not pulling this save because he's not confident at the moment, just like many Manchester United players. For a goalkeeper, it matters a lot. He knows that every mistake he makes is going to be scrutinized. And that shouldn't happen. He needs to get his confidence back to be better at stopping shots like this. But I'm going to show you later how in the game, Onana actually kept us in the game and what we can be looking forward to when it comes to goalkeeping skill from Onana. But anyway, let's keep going forward. 1-0. So here, this actually played out perfectly for Brentford because that played out to their strength perfectly. Because now they can just go compact, go deep into their own box, limit the spaces that we have, and that's it. And it's going to be tough for us. If they could do it and successfully do it against Manchester City, of course they can do it against us, right? Not only that, but they're also very good at wasting time. They did it like every throw-in. You know, how many yellow cards they got just for wasting times? And that's just so frustrating. But let's look at how ridiculous their defensive organization is. So Amrabat over here finds Højlund, who is, of course, excellent. This guy is going to be a great center forward for us. The next Ruud van Nistelrooy is right here. So look at him, surrounded by 4 players, and he's, of course, pushed to the edge. There's no one really making runs in here. Maybe Bruno Fernandes, but it's too late. By the way, Bruno Fernandes and Mount and Marcus Rashford as well were really kind of disappointing with their off-the-ball movement in and around Højlund because his hold-up play is very good, but the players were not moving in positions where they could receive the ball from him. Here he goes for the shot. Another one, again, Amrabat is looking for Højlund. Højlund, great movement of the ball. Look, he pins his defender back. But as you can see, the moment he gets the ball, he's already surrounded. And I don't care if you're Cristiano Ronaldo in his prime or Lionel Messi. In these kind of situations, there isn't much that can happen. But here, Martial should have made the run into this space right here beyond Højlund. That would have been a much better movement. But here, that wasn't the case. And so basically, Brentford were able to just keep us at arm's length. We've had some good opportunities. Dalot was close to scoring, but overall, they were quite comfortable and we could not really create great chances for us to come back in the game. But this was in the 82nd minute, and Brentford could have just killed the game at this point. If it were not for this beautiful save from Onana. Look at that, beautiful athletic saves, cleared the ball, keeps us in the game. The resulting corner kick also resulted in a great chance for Norgard from Brentford, but of course Onana, beautiful. The ball was dipping just underneath the crossbar and we needed that save. Now what this did, that was great from Onana, because what it did is that it kept the momentum going for us. It kept us going to seek that equalizing goal and probably that winning goal. But had Brentford scored in one of those 2 chances, that's it. It would have been game over. And Onana this game, he was also impressive with his ball playing ability. This was Mason Mount's chance. Look at how he creates the opportunity. Look, he's observing. He sees Bruno Fernandes making a run. Look at that. Look at that pass. Look at that. Amazing into the space behind the defensive line. Bruno Fernandes was able to find Mason Mount, who of course missed the opportunity. But anyway, Manchester United were pushing and most of our players were actually playing very well. I was really happy with their performances. But there is one thing that we need to talk about, and it's of course Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag, who has been criticized, and also it's an area that I myself think he needs to improve on, as well as his coaching staff, is his ability to change games with substitutions and tactical tweaks. That's something that so far, over the 2 seasons that Erik Ten Hag has been here, we haven't seen enough of. But in this game, it definitely worked out. You have to remember though, that when a manager tries to change things, he doesn't do it in a vacuum. He does it, but there's also resistance from the changes and adaptations of the opposition manager. Do you understand? So the effect of your changes is always affected by the changes that the opposition manager makes. But anyway, all of these players, McTominay, of course, Scott, McTominay, but also Garnacho and Antony, they brought flair, speed, ability to beat man and technique on the wings. And then, of course, Eriksen, who replaced Casemiro, who was taken off at halftime. I am sure it's not an injury, so I'm sure that Erik Ten Hag simply was not happy with the mistake that he's made, with how careless he is with his passing and when he has the ball at his feet. Eriksen brought a sense of calmness. Him and Amrabat, I think, worked pretty well in midfield. And of course, Anthony Martial added another body to us, going forward. But anyway, here Garnacho just shows his ability. First of all, Garnacho was also instrumental in that Anthony Martial goal that was chalked off for offside, rightly so, because he drew the foul towards him, and also he made the assist towards Anthony Martial. But here now, this is the actual Scott McTominay goal. And here, Garnacho, one thing that I really love about Garnacho and Pellistri, both of them have this trait about them, is that they're extremely determined, extremely driven to go beyond their man. Now, both of them suffer from the fact that they are still young. They're not as developed physically and they're not as developed mentally. Their decision making is still not the best, okay? But here, Garnacho, both of them have that ability, and here Garnacho, look at that. Oh, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I was so worried that they would chalk this goal off as well because they thought the ball went beyond the line. But anyway, beautiful cross. The cross is not going towards McTominay, but towards Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot, who again has been excellent. I'm really impressed by his ability to beat a man and his ability to strike the ball. Dalot has really improved a lot. Beautiful shot, and here the Brentford goalkeeper makes a mistake. This is just goalkeeping 101. When you parry the ball, you should never put it back in this zone right here. You should put it back towards the edges of the goal. He does it to our benefit. They failed to clear it. Scott McTominay, beautiful control, and then ruthless finishing. A lot of people tend to forget that Scott McTominay in the academy was actually trained as a striker. And he only became a midfielder after, Jose Mourinho saw that potential in him due to his physicality and his stamina and endurance and work rate. Beautiful goal, 1-1 Manchester United. We are back in it. But of course, that was not enough for Manchester United because we needed to win the game. And here, Bruno Fernandes, beautiful pass towards Harry Maguire. I was so happy that Harry Maguire got the assist. Listen, whenever Manchester United fans face bullying and adversity, I am so happy when they put things right on the pitch. Harry Maguire had an amazing game. An amazing game. I think that in the goal that we conceded, a lot of our players, 5 of our players, Casemiro, Maguire, Evans, Lindelof, and Onana could have done better. But still, overall, I think Harry Maguire, Evans, and Lindelof, they played superbly well. They were amazing. Beautiful. Scott McTominay. What a goal. Football, bloody hell. Guys, I am still happy. I'm still hyper. I slept like 4 hours because of this. 2-1 Manchester United. What a comeback. What a win for Manchester United. All right, now let's talk about what it means to be a supporter. But before that, let me leave you with a corny and cheesy line from the Avenger movies.
How are you guys planning on beating that? Together. We'll lose. And we'll do that together too.
Hear that? We win as a team and we lose as a team. And the reason why I'm saying this is because over the past few months, I've seen things on Twitter and YouTube, content that has been posted by so-called Manchester United supporters that is just despicable. It's just laughable how counterproductive and how toxic this type of content is. And this is why we need to talk about the word supporter, because not every fan is a supporter. Supporter comes from the word support. By definition, it implies that it comes in times of adversity. That means that your friends don't really need your support when they are happy, wealthy, and healthy. They need it when they go through a divorce, when they get fired from their job, when they get a diagnosis of a serious illness. That's when they need your support. Equally, if you want to find out who your true friends are, you have to wait until you are really going through a lot of trouble. You're really going through a bad patch in life. That's when you see which are your friends, the ones that are truly going to support you and the ones who are truly going to stick and stand by you. And at Manchester United, we have to adopt the same mentality. Are we supporters or not? Well, then we have to stick by the team, not only when things go well, like yesterday with the comeback, celebrate it, but also when things don't go well. Take, for example, the Onana situation. Now, first of all, to me, Onana is no different than pretty much any recruit that we have done since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. We didn't get the true Onana. Just like we didn't get the Jadon Sancho from Dortmund. We didn't get the Casemiro from Real Madrid. We didn't get the Mason Mount from Chelsea. We did not get the Paul Pogba from Juve. And the story goes on, goes on, goes on. You can say it about pretty much every recruit since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired. And so with Onana, you literally have two options to believe in. Option A, which is that Onana is just shit. Yeah, he's shit. He does not know anything. He's a complete dud. Think about him as Ali Dia, I think his name was, the guy who pretended to be a professional footballer, convincing Souness at Southampton to hire him, and then within like 20 minutes they realized, actually, this guy is not a professional footballer. You can believe that. You can believe that Onana is just like that. He's just shit. He does not know anything. He's just bad. That's option A. Or option B, this guy who was developed by La Masia, the Barcelona Academy, who went to Ajax, became their goalkeeper, went all the way to the Champions League semi-final, literally missing out on the final by a few minutes. Went to Inter Milan, first season, reached the Champions League final, whose stats are actually very good, both in terms of saving shots and in terms of ball playing ability. That this guy simply is not in form. You know the old adage, class is permanent, form is temporary. And so out of these two options, A or B, there's only one that is true, and it is B. If you truly believe that Onana is just shit, he's just shit, then you're wrong. You're simply wrong. He's not playing well, yes. So same thing with the other Manchester United players, because only a few of our players are in form, and they're not consistent with how they show that form. And so that's a problem that we have to work on collectively, as a team, together, like Captain America said. But what is happening now with the Manchester United fandom is that every single week we have a flavor of the week player scapegoat to blame. And this time it's Rashford, this time it's Bruno, this time it's Onana, this time it's McFred, this time it's Maguire, this time it's the manager. And then of course the best slogan that everyone has, Glazer is out, Glazer is out. But let's look at each component of Manchester United and let's see whether each component is working or not. And I'll tell you this, as a YouTuber, someone who knows what happens in the background, I can tell you that nothing sells better when it comes to the Manchester United space than negativity. There are so many channels that are successful because they are cynical. All they do is complain and blame and point a finger at everything Manchester United related. And the Manchester United fandom has gotten conditioned to that because of a decade of humiliation and of mediocrity, basically. So the Manchester United fans now are not expecting really anything better. They want it, but they don't expect it. So for me here at the Scarlet Report, I could turn this channel into a rant channel, into a negative channel. Every video that I make, I'd just be like, this guy is shit, get him out of the club, and this guy is shit, and this guy is shit, and Glazer's out, and Erik Ten Hag out, and that's it. That's it. But there is no value in that. I'm adding nothing to the conversation. And more importantly, is that the Scarlet Report is a manifestation of what I truly believe in. And I simply don't believe in that. I'm not that guy. I'm an optimist. I am a positive guy. And I am hopeful. Because otherwise, what's the point of supporting your team if you are not hoping and looking forward to a better future? And so I am much more inclined to look at the problem from different areas and look at its different components and see what can we do to improve things, rather than just say, well, no, it's shit. And I just think that we have to start considering, are we Manchester United fans or are we Manchester United supporters? And just like Captain America said, if you are truly a supporter, then you believe that when the team loses, they lost as a team. And when the team wins, they win as a team. Cheers.